The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual guests. If you're a sensitive snowflake that may get easily offended, then turn this off immediately. If you want to hear the real truth about the gun culture, then stick around. This is the Armed Citizen Podcast. What is going on, my Ghost Squad? Welcome to the Armed Citizen Podcast Live. This is episode number 147. Today's date is Tuesday, June 30th of 2020. So tomorrow is July 1st. And where has this year gone? I don't know. I mean, it's crazy. We are live as always on YouTube. And if you're out there in the live chat, welcome to the dark side. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you're new to the channel, new to the show, make sure you say hello in the side chat. We don't know that you're out there unless you do, and let us know where you're from and all of that good stuff. And we hope, I can't guarantee it, but we hope that we don't make you any dumber. That's our goal every week, and very rarely do we live up to those expectations, but we try. If you're listening in podcast form or watching in replay, the discussion does not have to end right here. Please utilize that comment section below with any questions or comments, and we'll continue that discussion at a later time. If you're live and you want to ask a question or make a comment that we want to maybe read on air, then go ahead and tag us in the side chat, myself or Clover or whoever, and we'll try to get to those questions. Can't guarantee we get to all of them, but we will we'll definitely get to as many as we can. And you can also text them or call them on the Ghost Tactical Hotline presented by the Gun Cleaners at 530-364-4678 or 530-36-GHOST. So I know that Snob said he's going to jump in a little bit, but right now we've got our quasi co-host from the great state of Texas, the keeper of the pot of gold ammo himself, Clover Tack. What's up, Clover?
You worried me for a minute. He called me the keeper of the pot, and I was like, oh, don't. I won't want that kind of reputation.
Not with 4473s jumping around there.
I'm telling you. Yeah. Well, I get to bypass that anyway, so it's all good. Well, I get to bypass the background, the next part.
I have to fill them out, but I can bypass the next part.
Right. Right. So, no, I got a question.
I got an answer.
And it just dawned on me tonight after all these, that intro's played forever.
Yeah.
It says if you're a sensitive snowflake, is there such a thing as an insensitive snowflake?
It is kind of redundant, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought so.
I never thought about that. I guess it was just for the imagery, the flow of it. But yeah, it is a little redundant. I mean, there is no, at least I have not come across an insensitive snowflake. So well done, sir. Well done. You've made me think about, should I change it? Yeah, no, I'm too lazy to do that. I'm too lazy to do that. So no. Let's say hey to all of the little Caspers. Hey, I rock your world. Let's say hi to all the Caspers out there. You got JMA out there, says, hell yeah, new live show, Semper Fi. Snob says almost first. Gun loving grandpa saw a buck this weekend. We had a fun shoot at the range, and we spent a couple hours out there and getting some lead down range, getting some work in, and man, it was hot as hell, but we enjoyed, we had probably about 6 or 7 of us this time. We had about 15 last month, but it was brutally hot. And so we had about 6 or 7, had a good time. So it was great. 223 DMRs out there. The Tactical Pickle Calaveras is out there, said, should be interesting to hear Ghost and Clover discuss this couple. We'll get to this couple, I guarantee it. Let's see here. Who else is out there? Jason Stewart, what's up, JS? Gizzard Gary, the tactical chicken himself. What's up, my man? Southpaw RX says, Tactical Ghost, very good topic for tonight's podcast. Looking forward to it. Well, we hope that we can entertain you. If not, then I apologize ahead of time. I can't guarantee anything at this point, but we're certainly going to try. We got the 1% out there. He says, howdy, folks. Wayne Barnard, what's up, Wayne? How you doing, my man? Let's see here. Going through here. Mining Ridge Army, what's up, Toby? If you guys haven't checked Toby out, he's obviously a contributor like Clover and I over at gearreport.com, or gear-report.com, as we like to say it. but he does a lot of training and all of that. So go check out his channel at Mining Ridge Army. He does a great job. Great guy as well. Mystics out there. Hello, sweetheart. Let's see here. Who am I missing? The gun snob. I think I said the gun snobs out there. Richard says we're being invaded by Okies. Let's see here. Ozzy, bark at the moon. What's up, Oz? Let's see here. Andrew Faulkner, what's going on? Budget's out there. Budget's at work. He sent me a message earlier saying he couldn't make the show, but he is at work. So be safe out there, brother man. Glad that you could at least come in and say hello. Go check out his channel as well, obviously. He has a great show on Friday nights around 10:30 Central, I believe. 10:30 Central is about about 10:30 Central. It's called The Right of the People. And I love his line. He says, we use the first to defend the second, where typically we like to say that a second defends the first. But in this show, the first defends the second. It's a wonderful show. Awesome stuff. He's passionate, but he's got a couple great sections in there. One of them is I was going to call him the dumbass of the week. And he's also got ones where they talk about people that are concealed carrying that are, involved with defensive shoots that were clean shoots. So it's really good. So go check that out. Let's see here. I think I plugged him enough. Checks in the mail, right, Mike? Carolina EDC, go check Carolina out, man. There's some good ones out here. A lot of good channels are making a lot of good content out there. I failed to mention Gary. Gary's got Foul Territory on Friday night, and he's got on Sunday, he's got the Early Bird, and that's about a 4 or 5 hour chat on Sunday mornings. It's great to kind of just come in and jump in and out and kind of get you through your Sunday morning. So go check that out as well. Guns and Barbecue. What's up, Guns and Barbecue? Gunpowder Beauty. What is going on, my dear? She's moved to not too far from me now. She's about 3.5 hours from me. That's great. Keith Gregory's out there. Sandhill Shooters, man. Sandy's out there, and he's got a show in a couple hours at 9:30 Central called the Get Off My Lawn podcast. So go check him out, all of his content as well. I'm turning this into a big one, isn't it? Juan's out there. JJ's out there. What's up, JJ? Duncan's out there. What's up, Duncan? And Clint's out there. Hello, Clint. Guitar Man Pete's out there. Midnight Range TM's got the closer on Sunday nights at 9:30 Central. Go check out the closer by Whoosh. It's a great little chat that kind of ends out on a fun note. It's great little. It's supposed to be like about an hour and a half, but it goes like 4 or 5 hours sometimes. It's a great one. Go check him out. Georgia Truckers out there. Let's see here. I think it said Guitar Man Pete's out there. You got Warsaw's out there. Defense Dad is out there. Foot Life is out there. I love seeing that. I love your little avatar. JBP's out there. John Brown Production. War Child's out there, and it's like romper room all over again. We like to have a good time for sure, and I think that might be. Oh, we got One Apple a Day is out there. Love the after dinner snack. Crayons in the background. Simplify. I'm going to talk about that real quick, and that's a great one. And I haven't seen Foss out there because I was going to hopefully Foss shows up. Maybe he will. Lead Life's out there. What's up, homie? But yeah, we're talking about these crayons, Clover, and I know we were talking about off air, but I did an Instagram post. So I came home from work. It was maybe like Monday or Tuesday. It was earlier in the week. And my wife says, hey, there's a package over here for you. I'm like, okay. I wasn't expecting anything at that day. And I open it up, and it says it's from one of our viewers out there and patrons and good friends of the channel, and DM Foss, and it's from him. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. So what is it? So I open it up, and everyone knows about the whole Marine Corps crayon thing, and he remembers. And I've said several times, Clover, and you've probably been around and heard me say it. They're a snob. But I said, the whole crayon joke is great, but if you're going to do it, I mean, I've heard every single crayon joke known to man, so get creative with it. And he took that to heart. So I got this box, and I was like, okay, he sent me a box of crayons, and I was like, that's kind of funny. Thanks. But then there was like a whole, I'm not going to show it to you, but this got his address and stuff on it, but, it came with instructions, and I was like, what the hell's I mean, I know I'm dumb. I know I'm a Marine, but I don't need instructions with crayons. I don't think, And so I opened it up, and on top of it, it says the Ghost Tactical Edition. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So I open it up, and so here we go. So you push them down, and it plays a Marine Corps hymn. It's like, oh, that's really awesome. You push another one down, and it plays taps, which I think is really cool. But this one, it's Semper Fidelis. And then this one, he took a lot of my different intros that I've put in the videos over the last several years and the music for the different intros on the videos and kind of just put a bunch of them together and all that. And it was like, awesome. So now I got to say this. Thank you so much to DM Foss. It's like the coolest thing I've ever gotten from anyone. And anyone out there right now that is thinking about a crayon joke, that's the standard now. You're going to have to live up to that. That dude not only bought crayons, but he put AAA batteries, speakers, sensors, and all of that. So that's what you have to live up to now. I love it. So thank you so much. I wish Foss was in here. Awesome. So thank you so much. That's it was awesome. So so I got that. That was pretty awesome. I was really happy. We got the gun snob all the way from, I think he's in the Tulsa area right now. Are you in? Yeah, I didn't know if you're in Oklahoma City or not, but he's in the Tulsa area of Oklahoma right now. What's up, Snob?
Not much, just hanging out.
Yeah. Life kind of boring when you're by yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, well, actually, Stacy was here till this morning again. She stayed all weekend, yeah. Her sister had to spend the weekend in the hospital, so there was no reason for her to stay down there.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, they should be home Thursday for good. I mean, she'll still have to go back and stuff, but they just wanted to give her some meds they could only give her while she was in the hospital over the weekend.
Yeah, so I was making sure when you hear it has to go back to the hospital, I was worried that something had gone wrong.
No, not necessarily. They just wanted to give her some different.
Stacy says she's in OK City, far from him. She seems happy. I'm just saying, she seems a lot lively. So let's see here. D Pimp says, well, I guess the fruit snack flavored crayons are out. No, see, here's the thing. I'm still accepting them. But you've now got to take the edible crayons. Because Clover was mentioned, we were talking about this beforehand. He says, well, edible crayons are pretty cool. And I said, yeah. But he took the time to do all this. So you got to do something with the edible crayons to make it that much. You just can't do edible crayons anymore. It would have been awesome. But now that I've seen this, I don't know. But it says, what headphone mic combo is that? I got lazy. I usually use the old blue Yeti. I didn't want to. I got lazy, so I flipped this up. This is a Skull Candy. I think it's a gamer's headset. I got it at Walmart for like $30, but I think it's typically used for gaming. But I like the way the audio comes out of this, and it's comfortable. So I use them anyways for headsets. And I usually just flip this back, but I said, the hell with them, we'll go ahead and use it tonight. But I think it's Skull Candy budget. It doesn't do as well as my Blue Yeti, but like I said, I know all I had to do is hook up a wire to it. But yes, I am that lazy. So how's it going? Everything going good with you, Snob?
Oh yeah, just living the dream.
Anything happened the last week that needs to be mentioned?
I don't think so.
Okay. What about you, Clove? Anything going on that people need to know about? Oh, I think Clover's eating. He was eating.
I was eating my pudding. You interrupted my pudding time, man.
I didn't realize you were so old.
Come on.
Well, see, here's the thing. So Clover's on the low carb, low calorie diet, and I've been the low carb thing for so long that I keep finding good things he's giving me some good ideas on what to snack on and all that. But 3 years ago, whenever it was, I found like Jell-O has chocolate and vanilla and then the swirl pudding, but it's sugar free, and it tastes just like normal pudding, and it's unreal. And they have sugar free Jell-O that's unbelievable. So he found the pudding, and now I think that he's addicted. So let's see here. Warsaw, bring you guys in on this because interesting. Warsaw says, this past Tuesday, I recently bought some ammo, and it seems we're on the verge of an ammo shortage in our country. 2 boxes of ammo a day purchase only. I think the ammo shortage is not coming. It's been here for a while.
Right.
My local gun shop has been out of basically all handgun and like 223, 5.56 ammo since early April. And I got a call last week, and he says, "Hey, I got some ammo." Well, so I went by there, and I was allowed to get 2 boxes of 9mm and 3 boxes of 223. And I was like, "Oh, okay, I understand. Can I come back tomorrow and get 2 more boxes of 9mm and all that?" And he's like, "No." I was able to get 100 rounds of 9mm and 60 rounds of 223. And I get it, because his distributor, he's been waiting since April to get this shipment. I think he got a couple thousand rounds, so he has to spread that out over all of his customers. He said it might be months before he gets any more ammo in. So the shortage has been going on for a while. And Clover and I were actually talking about this in a phone call we had earlier today. It's going to be interesting to see. And Clover, you brought up a good point about these companies stockpiling and not stockpiling. You want to kind of go over what's your thought of maybe what is going on with the shortages, because I thought it was a good point.
Yeah, I think they got caught with their pants down. That's what happened, and it's a lot of people don't realize the cycle. A lot of people think that these people are, look at how many calibers there are, right?
Yeah.
Everybody knows this. These companies do not run their machines 24/7, 365 on every single caliber. That's not feasible. They can't do that. So they tool up for certain calibers, and then they'll make a run for a while. Then they'll tool up for another set of calibers, however they figure it out, and do that for a while. Not just calibers, right? But you've got all these different calibers, and then you got all these different flavors on top of it. So,
yeah.
And with certain things that you're seeing major shortages on right now, it's things that are niche driven, that they don't sell a lot of, whatever it might be. And as soon as they seen it start to get crazy, most of your companies, they tooled up to do the stuff, to crank out the stuff that they sell the most of. And so,
and I don't think anyone foresaw Corona and the shutdown. No one saw that. And then right on the heels of that, you've got the riot and everything else. There's no way to forecast that when you're talking about, because they've got their production plan set a year in advance. They know when they're going to be running production. It's a cycle for them. They know when their downtimes are, but no one is expecting this. Now, I want to say I almost booted you out, Snob. I almost kicked you out. So it looks like you got...
I overpaid for it. Don't feel special.
Well, okay, so let me ask you this. 1, where did you get it? And 2, if you don't mind, how much of a price gouge was there?
I got it at Natchez or whatever it is. Okay. I found it on Ammo Seat, 28 cents a round. Shipped. That was after, it was 24 cents a round. Terrible. But after tax and shipping, it ended up being 28 cents a round for $1,000.
It's not. It's obviously high. It's not terrible. I've seen a lot worse.
Oh yeah, I have too.
Well, it's going to depend. It's going to depend on where you're at, because I went to town today and I hit every place that had ammo, looking for a very specific ammo. But the big box stores that carry ammo, they were somewhat dry on ammo. Their shelves wasn't bare or anything, but you really couldn't be that picky or choosy. Yeah. But any of the local gun shops I've been in, because I've been on search for this ammo for good Lord days now, and I've hit no telling how many stores that have it, and it's not hard to come by around here, not at all.
Yeah, hold on, before you do that, I don't. What link is this? I don't know what link you're referring to. If you hit the link, you're actually watching our live show, Steven. So. I don't know what link you're referring to, but welcome. Steven was on your show. I met him Thursday on Clover's show. Go check him out. He does some interesting stuff on his channel, so it's pretty cool. Coming to you about the big box stuff, I actually had called down to Academy last week or a week or so ago, and they're about 45 minutes, so it's not that bad of a drive. And I figure, well, if anyone's going to have some stuff, it's going to be Academy, because they're not getting it from a distributor to they're ordering millions of rounds company wide, probably straight from the manufacturer, and they're like, nope. And the interesting thing, so I want to say this, I'm going to put this out there, and there's going to be a lot of hate out there, and that's okay. That's okay. The only handgun ammo that I've been able to find religiously anytime, anywhere is 40.
Yep.
So what does that tell you, America? What does that, for all the 40 lovers out there, that's the only one that I can find all the time. So what does that tell you? You were going to say something, Tom. Go ahead.
I went to Bass Pro Sunday in Springfield, the real Bass Pro.
Yeah.
And and the week before I went to Oklahoma City, and they don't even have a spot in Oklahoma City for pistol ammo. They took all their pistol ammo spots and put shotgun shells there.
Yep.
And Branson had just a couple rounds they had like a couple boxes of 32 and 25. I went to Springfield thinking, well, if any Bass Pro is going to have it, it'll be Springfield. And they had probably 4 or 5 different brands of 9. Now they had 40 and some other stuff in Springfield. But as far as 9 goes, they had a couple different brands of 9, but it was all defensive ammo. I bought a couple boxes of Hornady Critical Duty there. But they really didn't have any practice ammo whatsoever. And Sports World's he's been getting somebody's buying other brands that are more expensive and stuff. And he's like, yeah, you don't want to buy these. It's just what we can get. Yeah.
Yeah. Andrew out there takes a shot back, says, that's the reason I have a 40, just for times like this. He knows he's never going to have an ammo shortage. People are hoping to give that shit away, So
I said the other day, I guess I'm going to have to start shooting my 40 all the time.
I can't do it. Can't do it. Not gonna happen. No, just kidding. It's what it is. But it's interesting. That's really literally the only kind of handgun ammo that I've been able to find is 40. And even Academy was like, I said, are y'all gonna be able to get anything in? He's like, I don't know. I mean, he actually looked in the system. I was like, look, I'm trying to get like a couple thousand rounds of this, couple thousand rounds of that. And I said, can you like look in your system? I don't care if it's shipped to me from Nebraska. I don't care which Academy. I'll pay for the shipping. He goes in the system. He's like, it's dry, man. Like, we don't have anything. So it's crazy. JMA says even 10s out there is out everywhere. So,
I bought a couple boxes of 45 the other day when I was just in a farm and ranch store just because they had tons. They had tons of 45 and 40. They didn't have any 9, but. Yeah.
I mean, as far as ammo around here goes, I mean, you can find any kind of shotgun shell, 30-06, 30-30. We have a lot of 17 HMR. We got, I don't know why, but like the Walmart shelves are like just loaded with that. Can't find 22 anywhere. Just the calibers that you don't see very often. Obviously, those are the ones that are around. But it's really, and it's not just people out there reloading. And honestly, at this point, I mean, I've never reloaded. I've never had the time nor the passion to reload. And I understand that it could save you money, but I shoot a lot of 2.23 and a lot of 9. That's pretty much the 2 calibers that I shoot the most. It's not worth the investment, the initial investment, to save a little bit because, maybe in times like these, yeah. But I mean, with 9 and 2.23 typically so cheap, I've never had the reason to. And I know, Clover, you reload. I mean, have you been reloading a lot lately, or is that something you've thought about start doing?
Nope.
No.
It's really easy for me to tool up and crank out 1,000 rounds or something like that. So it's got to get pretty bad, and it's not bad enough that I've went through my stuff yet. So, and then the other thing too is when you're talking about doing it for T&E. See, this is the difficult thing. So, just being able to go out and have fun on the range, or have stuff just because, is one thing, but needing to do T&E work, you want a variety, and you want factory stuff. You really don't want to run reloads when you're doing T&E work. And so a lot of what I'm running is for T&E work. And so I could do it a real reload, but if I reload, is that going to guarantee that the problems I'm having or whatever with that particular firearm, is it because of the reloads?
Yeah.
Who knows?
I've got over here, just I wish you could turn. I can't do the camera, but right here I've got a little I don't know, waist high 3-drawer dresser drawer full, and this one's full of basically 9 and 2.23. I've got probably, I don't know, several thousand rounds of each in there. And that's kind of what I just grab when I go. But when I shoot at the range, I like to replenish. So I like to have 5,000 rounds or so of the ones that I'm going to shoot a lot, just to know that I have it for times like these. And like I said, I've got plenty of ammo to shoot, but I hate, like, in my mind, it's the OCD part of me. Like, I know that I shot, oh goodness, I would say 500 to 700 rounds in the last 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks of 223. Not that I'm running short, but in my mind, I've got to go replenish that 500 to 700 rounds to keep it, like, my mind from going nuts. 9mm, I mean, God, I go through 9 like it's crazy. And I know that I've got ammo. I mean, I'm not short, but I'd like to have, like, that baseline number in my head that I've got at least 5,000 or 10,000 or whatever that number is. And now that I can't replenish it, it's like, well, I guess that's the reason why I have this stockpiled, is in case something happens like this where I can't get it. But my mind's going nuts. I've got to replenish this shit,
I've got that same problem because I've got plenty of 9 or had plenty of 9, but I'm like, well, if I shoot these, I just bought 2 new 9s, and if I shoot these and want to run any rounds to them, then I'm going to dig into my stockpile.
Yep.
And that's what I actually said the other day. I said, well, I guess that's why I was stockpiling it in the first place, was when times I couldn't get it, and I finally found this and bought this. I was happy, and it relieved me.
I've got 4 9mm AR pistols coming in the next week or two, and I do at least 1,000, if not 2,500 rounds, if not more, just for testing and reviewing about T&E, whatever, viewing a firearm. So I know over the next, let's say, month or two, to do it the right way that I want to do it, I'm going anywhere from 4,000 to 10,000 rounds of 9mm. And I'm doing the math in my head going, if I do that, then I'll be almost completely out of 9mm when this is over. And if I can't replenish, what I'm saying is it's making me change. Well, instead of doing 2,500 per gun, am I going to do 500 and then 1,000 round review instead of 1,000 and 2,500? I mean, it sounds bad, but it's getting to the point to where maybe we have to start kind of rethinking how we're going to do T&E. So Clover, with the 22, you've gone through a shit ton of 22 lately.
Yeah.
But I mean, have you started thinking, not because of price, but because of availability? Have you kind of started rethinking of how you're going to have to do some T&E over the next few months if we can't get ammo?
Yeah, I've already done it to an extent. I mean, I've shifted down to, like, the battles. I mean, you're looking at 5 rounds max per firearm. For the chrono test, 5 rounds. For the realistic test, that's it. So, maximum of 20 rounds on that, which is roughly a half a box if you're talking, conventional handgun ammunition at 50 a box. So, and then you're looking at over on the FUD Live channel, you'll notice that the stuff that's been done there so far, I've limited that to even 3 rounds. Just run 3 through the chrono, run 3 on paper or something like that. Just scaling it back. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to have to play around with the concepts of, and I've kind of been doing that anyway. I'm not really big on giving the all out, necessarily 1,000 round, 2,000 rounds through it type review. I like putting them into projects and just finding different ways to do videos anyway.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, I mean, I usually will do handguns. I've always done like 1,000 round and 2,500. But if you take that gun and other videos that I incorporate, it's probably 5,000 rounds total.
Right.
So
you've got to. Yeah, I mean, you've got to run minimum. I'm going to say minimum for a T&E project, right? Minimum you're going to have to do, even if you scale back, it's going to be 500 a firearm. Because you're talking about break-in points on some of these firearms that are minimum 500 rounds.
Yeah. There's a couple questions that are phenomenal. I'm going to start this one with Snob. Off the X says, I'm going to use Robert. What is your thoughts on how much you need to stock? Let's just take like 9mm 223 or like your handgun and your AR, your basic, not the off, caliber stuff, but the stuff that you actually are going to use quite a bit. What do you think, Snob, is like the bare minimum that someone needs to kind of have in stock at all times?
Well, I would have said the bare minimum was 1,000 rounds before this, but now I'm going to say it's 1 million rounds.
1 million, yeah.
I don't know, 2,000, 3,000 at least.
Yeah.
I had at least 2,000 put away, and I'm already down. Before I bought this 1,000, I was down to like 900.
Exactly. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Clover, what do you think as far as like the calibers that you as an individual are going to shoot the most? Is there a number that you like to keep in the back of your mind?
3,000 to 5,000.
Mm-hmm.
If you're talking about center fire stuff, 20,000. If you're talking about 25,000. If you're talking about
22.
If you're talking about 22, yeah, not and I should put other rimfires in that same, but I don't have any like 17 HMR, 22 WMR. Which are rimfire. I don't keep a lot of that around because I don't shoot a lot.
Sure.
So, I don't really worry about it. So when I say rimfire, I mean 22 long rifle.
Sure.
And then I've got, oh good Lord, in the calibers that I would say 3,000 to 5,000 rounds, I keep enough supplies to reload probably minimum 10 to 15,000 rounds of those. Yep. And even obscure calibers, I shoot to keep enough supplies for 1,000 rounds, even in the obscure calibers that I load for.
Yeah. For me, 9mm minimum of 5. Try to maybe even think 10 at that point if it's available. When it's as cheap as it normally is, if I can find 1,000 rounds, for nothing, I'll whatever. And I have a buddy that supplies ammo for us as well, but 5 to 10, I would say 223. I try to keep 3 to 5, 7.62 by 39, about 1,000. I don't shoot as much with that. I love it, but I don't shoot 7.62 as much as 223. So I'd say about 1,000 of that. And then I've got some other, 500 here, 500 rounds of this, and that of stuff that I don't shoot a whole lot. So 500 is not, I'm never going to go through that unless I have to red on it or something. But yeah, I would say, it depends on what you're going to do. If you're a competition shooter, then you could be talking 25, 30,000 rounds.
Oh God, easily. Yeah.
If you're talking someone who trains a lot, if you go to a training class, it's like a 2-day class, you're going to take 1,000 rounds of whatever you're going to be shooting, per class. So just remember that, if you're at a 1-day class, you can expect 500 rounds. So depends on if you're just going to the range and plinking or whatever, everyone's going to have it. But if you're going to go train a lot and you're going to go do competition and you've got this, that, and the other, we're talking 50,000 rounds if you're that guy. If you train a lot and shoot competition every week, 50,000 rounds is not unreasonable to keep in stock. That's why a lot of people do competition, do reloads, because at that point, you're gonna make money off of that. There was another here. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, no, I was gonna Guns and Barbecue. I was gonna reference what he was saying out there. He says, "What do you guys think of conserving ammo at times like this and doing more dry fire practice using an airsoft gun or BB gun for practicing whatever?" Yeah, that's not a bad idea. And do that if that's what you need to do. I come from, I guess, an old school way of thought in that I've been around this block and I've seen this happen. This is not the first time that this has happened. It's not even the first time in the last couple of years that this has happened. So it'll come back around. It's going to come back around. And so as long as I've got enough to, last me, and I'm lucky in that I've got a wide variety of calibers to choose from. So, if I need to, I could switch over to another caliber. It's not a big deal. But, as long as I've got enough that'll get me through, and between my stock and reloading and what I'm able to find, out there to replenish, I have never had a problem getting through times like these. The only time that it got really hairy for us was back in 2013. With the 22 long rifle, and the only reason it got hairy was running a program with 200 or 300 kids every weekend, and going through, good Lord, hundreds of thousands or millions of rounds a year. me personally, and with my kids and the competitions and other stuff, even then it wasn't a problem.
Yeah, for me, it's not a problem of running dry. It's just running below a level that my
Right.
mind is comfortable with.
Yeah, well, 2 is 1, 1 is none.
That's correct. Southpaw, we'll all three answer this, but Southpaw says, when y'all are T&E firearms ammo supplied, or is that on you? Depends. For me, I've had times where I've been supplied ammo. Fiocchi sent me ammo for different things. Blazers sent me ammo for different things. I have an ammo guy that did supply me ammos for a lot of stuff. But a lot of times it's, thank God for Patreon, honestly, and thank to all my patrons out there. But a lot of time is Patreon money and Amazon money and what little we make on YouTube money. I mean, a lot of the time is you're buying your own, and I think that's where T&E gets hairy, is for people that are buying their own ammo for T&E. Some people get nervous about buying all this ammo, so that's why you don't see many people that are buying their own ammo. That's why you don't see them doing 1,000, 2,500, 5,000 round reviews, because they got to go purchase that. So yeah, it can get hairy, but it depends. Like I said, there are companies, there are firearms that will send ammo with the firearms, actually. And then I've got a contact at Fiocchi, I've got a contact at Blazer, got a contact that I'll ask, hey, I'm doing this T&E project, and I'm trying to get like a box from 10 different, maybe 2 boxes, get 50 to 100 rounds from 10 different manufacturers. Would y'all be interested in doing it? Boom, and they'll send down a couple boxes of ammo for that T&E. But that's, if I ask for 10, I might get 3 that say yes. So yeah, I've got maybe anywhere from 150 to 300 rounds, but then I've got to make up the other 1,000, the rest of the 1,000 from my supply and my pocket. So, Snob, What about you? Have you gone through? I mean, obviously there are projects that you have to buy your own and all that, but how many projects are you kind of on your own for ammo versus ones that are supplied?
Usually when Sports World sends me with a gun, they send me ammo, which I usually shoot more than what they send. And then they got me a bunch of SIG ammo once, just for my own use. After I did the SIG video, SIG gave me a bunch of SIG ammo.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I buy my own.
Yep. Clover, what about you?
Yeah, vast majority is bought through, like you say, through Patreon, affiliate marketing, other things.
Yep.
I will say this: I've never had a company send me ammo with the firearm. I've reached out, like you're talking about, to other companies when I've got that T&E project because I needed a certain caliber or whatever it might be, and said, hey, are you interested in jumping on, tagging along with this particular project? It's a good, advertising, whatever opportunity for you, so forth and so on. And I'll be more than happy to do a dedicated video on that particular ammunition. And I've had, situations like that. But yeah, never somebody said, here's a firearm for T&E and here's some ammo. Yeah, that very rarely does that happen, it seems like.
Yeah, I've only had that happen once, where a company, and it was a company that sent 2 shotguns for me to literally test, not for doing like videos on, but this was last year, saying we've got a couple shotguns we're sending to people to try out and let us know what we need to fix before SHOT Show or before NRAM or whatever. They're kind of prototypes. And so they sent this, and they sent probably 100, so they sent me 200 rounds of 12 gauge shells to go with it, because they're saying, hey, if you're going to do this prototype testing for us, we're going to supply the ammo. So that's what they did. That's the only time I've ever been sent with the firearm to say, hey, here it is. But that was kind of a different thing. It wasn't for reviews, it was for literally testing,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's see here.
Well, I mean, and that makes sense, I guess, in a way. But I mean, if it's for stuff to put out there, I mean, I would think the people watching, because I'd be this way, wants to see a variety of stuff, right? I mean, any company can make a gun that only works with a certain ammunition and then send you that ammunition and everything be peachy keen. And then people watch your video, they go out and buy that, then they buy whatever they've got access to at the local gun shop or whatever that don't run worth a crap. and then there you sit,
Exactly. Trucker out there says, how was the Fiocchi? I usually get Federal, American Eagle, and Blazer. I think people know that have listened to me and watched my stuff and listened to me talk about bulk ammo and range ammo. My probably favorite of all time is Blazer Brass, and it's great ammo for. It's not the cheapest like Remington or Winchester White Box, but it's only like $1 or $2 more for 50. I love Blazer Brass. The Fiocchi, I really like Fiocchi. I just started using it about a year ago, and I do like Fiocchi. I tell you another one that I'm coming around on is the SIG ammo. The SIG ammo, I've been really impressed as well. Clover, I know you used a bunch of Fiocchi, especially in 22. They sent you a whole load of 22. But what did you think of 22?
Yeah, they sent me their entire line, 2, 3, 4 boxes a piece or something of their entire line. It's good stuff. The only complaint I've got, and this is the reason that they sent it to me, is I can't get it. I mean, I could order it places online or whatever, but I have never seen it for sale on a shelf anywhere I've ever been. And believe me, I've had a talk with them about that. I'm like, you got to get this on the shelf more. You know what I mean? But their match grade stuff, I've always been a fan of the LE black box, match. And their match grade stuff, the Exacta and the official 320. And I don't know the retail price compared to the LE now. I'm not going to lie to you on that. I don't have that information off the top of my head. But as far as performance on a match level, it's right there with it, which says a lot. If you know me and how much I over the years I've enjoyed the performance out of LE.
Sure. Snob, much experience with Fiocchi ammo? If so, what are your thoughts about it?
I find quite a bit. As a matter of fact, the 2 boxes of 45 I bought that are sitting over there are Fiocchi. Because the Atwood's Farm and Home, they carry Fiocchi, so I buy it there a lot. It's dirtier it's like S&B. It's real dirty compared to Federal and stuff. In the 9mm anyways.
Yeah. There's a question. I remember who was asking about steel case ammo, good or bad. For AKs, that's all I shoot, honestly. I've never had a steel case 7.62 by 39 do anything in an AK. AKs, I think, chew up, not a problem. I don't particularly like running steel case in my 223 unless it's literally I'm doing a T&E, and that's literally all I can get. But I'll also maybe try to find some, if I am doing T&E, to see will it handle. For me, I'm not a big fan of steel case ammo except if it's in 7.62. Snob, what about you? Steel case ammo fan or not a fan?
I don't really have any issues with it. I've ran quite a bit of it through my ARs and stuff. I don't run it in my handguns, but
yeah, no.
Would if it's all I can find, I guess.
Sure. Clover, what about you? Are you a fan or not really have an opinion?
I don't. It's on a case-by-case basis, really, with me. I mean, I've run a lot of alternative, metal casing, I guess you could call it, not just steel, but you've got aluminum and you got a lot of different things. And, overall, I haven't had a big problem except for one that stands out. And wasn't really an issue of the steel case, but the lacquered steel case. My FAL, if you run that thing hard with lacquered steel case, you will eventually stick a case in the chamber.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Cellular and Benoit ammo?
I think he meant Bellet, but
Bellet, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I never heard of that, but
yeah, S&B. Yeah.
Yeah, the Benoit threw me, but no, I don't S&B. I don't have much experience. Like I said, I once I find ammo that I like, I kind of stick with it. So very rare. So I don't have an opinion on that.
A crap ton of that, or did, because that's what Sports World had as the cheapest ammo. I've never had any problems with it. It's dirty,
yeah,
but it's cheap. I mean, I was given before all this, I was given around $7 a 50 for it. So
really,
brass case, yeah.
Oh wow.
So
for nothing, is it that dirty though?
Yeah.
Is it that dirty? I mean, is it?
It's like Fiocchi. It's dirty. It's not Federal or Winchester or anything. I found it to be a lot dirtier. Gun gets a lot dirtier, but it runs just fine. I mean, I've thousands of it.
Yeah, same thing. And I've used I've used S&B primers and reloading for quite a few years, even, and I haven't really had an issue with those either. Yeah, I mean, I agree with Snob. I mean, it's on the lower end, the dirtier end, but or my experience with the calibers and the whatever flavors that I've shot anyway, right? Because Snob's talking about Fiocchi being dirty, and we know this from talking with Fiocchi and hanging out with him, everything else. It depends on which Fiocchi you get. They've really changed a lot of their tooling and a lot of their other stuff. So some of their stuff, like the match grade stuff that I was talking about on the Rimfire, that Fiocchi is not dirty.
Oh, I don't doubt that they make. I'm just talking the cheapest of the cheap.
Yeah, right. Cheap ammo is going to be dirty typically.
Ammo is going to be dirty regardless of who makes it. It won't be cheap if it's not dirty.
And relatively speaking, all ammo is going to to be dirty because it's the nature of the ammo. So, yeah.
But I'm just going to say SMB is a lot dirtier than like the federal brass that you can buy in the 200 round packs and stuff.
Yeah. So Squib says you're wrong. Some says it is not dirty. And Budget comes in and says Squib's in the pocket of big SMB.
Oh, that explains.
Shot fired.
Yeah.
There was another one. Okay, Luke Walsh out there. It's a great one. What's a good 9mm? We turn this into an ammo chat, which is awesome. I love ammo chat. What's a good 9mm self-defense round for PC carbines? I keep hearing PCCs over penetrate with a little expansion. So you're going to have to understand that if you're talking about a self-defense or home defense, you're talking, anywhere from 6 feet to, I'll even say up to like 30 to 40 feet, 50 feet, in that self-defense shot. 9mm, an example in itself, unless it's, really good, like Hornady, there's some other good ones out there, but there's going to be over penetration a lot in handguns to begin with. Now you start talking about putting a 9mm in a carbine, and the energy that's going to be coming out of that, there is a good chance there might be some over penetration. So it is one of those things. But I would say the same thing that you could use in handguns. You have the Hornady critical defense. You've got the Winchester. What is it? Which one do you use? The Winchester
PDX-1.
PDX-1. The SIG V-Crown. These are all quality self-defense rounds that you can use in your handguns. So you can use them in a carbine. Just understand that there's going to be a lot more energy coming out of that carbine than it is out of a handgun. So there's always going to be that threat of over penetration. Snob, what are you with 9mm carbines? Some good defensive rounds for you.
The only thing I've ever shot through my PC carbine is some V-Crown. I don't really use it as a defensive gun, so it's just a range toy. So I've never really messed with it.
When you're looking at any self-defense round, you're talking about velocity equals energy equals expansion. That equation. And I won't go deeper into it than that. When you're looking at that, what you would want to do, since you're talking about a carbine, a 9mm carbine, a longer barrel, you're obviously going to have a higher velocity, probably than what's stated on the box, right?
Oh.
Buy that ammo, it's probably been tested out of a 4-inch barrel or maybe a 5-inch barrel, and you're talking about it 8 or 9 or 10.5-inch carbine. Well, obviously, if it's 1200 on the box, it's going to shoot faster than 1200, right? So what you're going to want to do is this is just my opinion on it, is find an ammo with a little bit lower velocity stated on the box, and then that way when it does increase that velocity because of the added barrel length, it's going to increase that velocity just a little bit. It's still not outside the range of that optimal point for expansion.
Yeah. Gold dot hollow point. Gold dot's good. I don't use it I'll use it for testing, but I don't use it to actually carry. I've been a Hornady critical defense for a long time, both in 9 and in 223.
Well, for Gold Dot,
V-Crown, I really like the SIG V-Crown now. So what were you going to say?
For Gold Dot, I mean, that's Spear, and the Spear Lawman is a little bit cheaper than the Gold Dot, and there's not a whole lot of difference. I'm almost convinced it's the exact same projectile. I can't prove that, but almost convinced of it.
Yeah. Question out there says, would I run steel cased ammo through a Glock, steel case 9mm in a Glock, or hell no? And it's not, I want to say no, not because I don't like steel cased ammo, but once again, I can get brass ammo for nothing when it's in stock. Yeah. So I'm not worried about if I can go get Remington or Winchester white box for range and T&E stuff for like $9 for 50, and I have to go and steel is like $7.50 or $8. I'll pay the extra buck to go brass. Now, once again, if it's the only thing that's out there, then absolutely, I have no problem running steel case. It's just I prefer brass. That's just me. But I would say no, but not because I hate steel case ammo.
For the price difference, I mean, it takes a little bit of time to pick up your brass, and I guess on some ranges you're not allowed to. And I get there's 10,000 caveats to this, so don't crucify me. But with brass, you could pick up that brass, and worst case scenario, pick up that brass, throw it all in a 5-gallon bucket, and take it to the scrap metal yard, and you could probably get the cost difference back.
Probably.
Right? That's assuming that you don't sell it. Turn around, sort it, sell it,
shop, and they'll buy it from you.
Sell it as once fired, brass. Put it online and sell it. And I mean, 9mm, you're going to get $5 a 100. Well, that's $5 for every 2 boxes. Think about it. So, what is the price difference in the steel case? If the steel case is $2 a box cheaper, you're not saving anything because you could have turned around and sold that and made up the difference.
Yep, we're going to say something.
So, is it really worth it?
I've got this plan though. So I don't pick up my brass because I want gravel for my range, but I'm too cheap to buy gravel. So I just let all the brass go down there, and eventually it's going to be completely brass to walk on.
Honestly, that's actually kind of a cool idea. Honestly, I'm not going to lie. That's a pretty sweet idea.
So you got to get down in prone or on your knees, and then it ain't too much fun.
Well, you put a pad down there, you're fine. But yeah, I would like the visual. That'd be a really cool landscaping idea. What's that? That's those are 9mm casings. Damn. Yep, I had a good year this year. Went through a lot of ammo this year. Let's see here. I'm liking, what I'm liking. Just the hell with everything else. We're gonna keep going with the ammo chat. I'm gonna change the title of this, and I was not anticipating ammo chat, but I love ammo chat. So let's see what else is out there. I saw something. You got the assault gun. I've got one at work. I took mine to work, and I use the hell out of that thing.
There's a fly in here, and it's about to die as soon as I find it again.
Let's see here. Now this is one that I have not got much experience. The Federal HST. You guys have any? I have limited, so I mean, I probably shot maybe 200 rounds of it, so I would not base anything on that. But have you guys had HST experience to talk about that?
I've shot it quite a bit. I used to, back when I carried a 45 all the time, that's what I carried, and I still have a bunch of rounds for 45.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I've ever had it in, but it was shot fine.
Yep. What about you, Clove? HST good for you?
Nah, it's not my pick, but it's a decent projectile. Yeah.
Yep. Now, Rob out there says, please send all unwanted guns and money to his address. So,
right.
We gotta get Rob out of New York. I know he likes New York, but we gotta get that out. Ozzy, what do you think of ARX Polycase Defend? I do not know. I will say that I have shot several polymer projectile ammo. I'm not a fan yet. And I'm going to throw Fort Scott because they're not just polymer. It's just the non-lead. It was almost say non-lead projectiles. There are some companies out there doing great work increasing the value and what the non-lead, especially the polymer side of projectiles are. But I still think that they're, I don't know, a few years away from really breaking in. What do you guys are thinking about the polymer ammo?
It's getting there.
Or non-lead, I would say, because it's not all polymer. But
the non-lead, there's some awesome stuff here. There's something to be said about whenever you are manufacturing a solid copper projectile, because I've got some stuff that literally, I mean, it's subsonic, and I mean that stuff comes apart, and I mean it's amazing at subsonic speeds where you're just not going to get that with any other type of projectile. So some of the things you can do with it is awesome. I think you've got a couple of things. I think you've got manufacturing cost for the solid copper that's starting to come down. Then you've got the stuff that's been around forever that's starting to get into the market, which is the combination, the cocktail, I call them projectiles, which is the powders, the frangible type stuff or whatever. And those are cool too. Then you get into what you're talking about, a lot of the polymer stuff. He specifically was talking about the polycased. And at first,
I'm sorry. Yeah.
At first thought on the poly case is like, well, that's stupid, but it's not completely polymer. At least the ones I've seen are not. The base and the cartridge head is actually metallic, which is great because otherwise
just the outer coating is more polymer, is it not?
Basically, yeah. It's reinforced. It's almost like almost like reinforced. There's less metal, more polymer to kind of reinforce or beef it back up or whatever. And my thoughts on it, with like I said, with what limited experience I have with it so far, is that the technology is just not there yet as far as the bonding. I don't think they found the right, because there's all different types of polymer, right? I just don't think they found the right combination of polymer and metallic elements to make it work out right.
Yeah. Snob, polymer cased or just polymer projectiles? What are your thoughts on where they are right now?
I've shot some polymer coated case stuff, but I don't have any experience. I guess I've shot a box of that Syntec or whatever that's a polymer coated ammo before, but I don't really have much experience. That stupid G2 Research Telos, we were talking about the solid copper. That's that solid copper hollow point. It was a 9mm plus P, like 85 grains. He sent me some boxes of it. I wouldn't even do a video with it. I mean, it was
really.
I couldn't do a video with it. It wouldn't cycle in nothing. It would not cycle my 19. It would cycle in the shield barely. It was so weak. It wouldn't cycle in full size anything. And a 19 would cycle maybe 30% of the time, 40% of the time. It would dime out. I didn't want no part of that mess.
I got a text in here. It says, do you guys think it is safe to shoot 44 mag, 320 grain hardest bullets out of a Smith & Wesson that was made in 1982? Gun is in pretty good shape. Yep. I'm going to let these guys that are the hard cast, he says, hard cast, I meant to say. I'm not a revolver guy, so you guys know that. So I'm going to let the revolver guys talk about it. Go ahead, Clove.
But yeah, why not?
I mean, 1992, I couldn't see any reason why not. I mean, 82, not 1892 might be different.
No, not 1982.
1982 or whatever is fine.
Shoot, man, even back in the 60s, I don't know when they started making, I don't know what model he was talking about. Did he say what model, or he just said a revolver?
He just says Smith & Wesson that was made in 82. He didn't say what.
That's right.
Listen, if you're out there still, what model of Smith & Wesson do you have in Texas to me? So,
well, the reason I bring that up is, good Lord, depending on the model he's talking about. I mean, they were shooting those out of them back in the 40s or 50s. So, no difference doesn't make.
Dave wants to know a question that most of us are asking.
Right.
PSA coming out. That's a great question. I don't think that PSA knows when it's coming out yet.
Soon. Just know it's soon.
Soon. They've been saying soon about the MP5 clone. They've been saying soon about a lot of stuff in the last several years. And I think a lot of it has to do with, obviously, craziness now. But
that's
soon.
An excuse, but
sure, but soon. They're historically slow on releasing guns that people want, actually. They'll release the shit that nobody wants, but the ones that are really wanted, you go get them, Snob. You thrash that damn fly.
I don't know where he is. I'm willing to shoot myself to get him, but
yeah. Let's see here. Listen up here. I saw Luke. Luke was talking about it, and I think it's kind of funny. He says, extreme, I'm going to cover up Snob's face real quick, but it says, extreme fire danger started a few weeks ago, just after I got his PCC configured with a Romeo 5. And Snob's trying to climb up. No more supper mag dumps. What range ammo is least likely to start a grass fire?
Tracer.
I don't know. Clearly, Tracer is the one to go with. I would say that that has no chance of starting any berm fires. So Tracer is most definitely the way to go. No, he says Smith & Wesson 629. 629 built in 82.
Yeah, so 629. Yeah. Okay.
Good to go. All right.
Yeah. That's the modern. What am I thinking here? Modern equivalent of the. I don't know what I'm thinking. Model equivalent of the 29, I guess. So come out later. So yeah.
Sure. As far as range ammo, be less likely to start a fire. I mean,
I've never had an issue with any ammo starting a fire, so I don't.
With any ammo, so
I
don't know.
Understand that. Yeah, not even traces and stuff. So I don't understand.
Well, I can't. I'll shoot some tracers into gas cans. That is definitely the way to go.
Right.
Yeah. I have seen fires on Marine Corps ranges, but we are using Mark 19s, which are fully automatic grenade rifles and 50 cal, and so I've seen fires, but not with like a 223 or 9, especially like a 9mm, a handgun. I've never seen. I can't even imagine doing a major mag dump unless you've been in a drought for 2 years. And I mean, I don't know. I've never seen a fire start because of ammo. That's just me. I don't know. Yeah, Philo says that the MP5 might be out of their manufacturing skills. I mean, like I said, if they, I even asked them again this year at SHOT. I said, we're hoping this is the year. I think that if they could do it and actually do it right, I think the MP5 clone could easily be one of their best sellers ever. Their AK stuff that's coming out this year is supposedly pretty good. They look great. I haven't shot one yet. They look phenomenal. The AK was an AKV, I think, is going to be pretty good. I think that is what is that the AK and 9mm. I think that's supposed to be pretty cool too. Dale Allen out there says Semper Fi Jarhead. You too. I'm assuming that you're a Jarhead, so Semper Fidelis Leatherneck. Let's see here. Luke says, okay, back to pre-supper mag dumps. We've talked him back into going into pre-supper mag dumps. Perfect.
It works.
Squib says that he set Camp Pendleton on fire in 92 with tracers. Yeah, you talking about incendiary and tracers in Camp Pendleton, where Camp Pendleton, Southern California goes through droughts. And that can definitely happen. But you're also talking about, I mean, thousands of rounds in a short amount of time going on the target. It's going to do some stuff. And tracers, yeah, I don't see tracers causing a fire. I think Squib's lying about that. So if you're out there, please shoot tracers all you can. It's not going to cause a problem. And I would get sued for that. So I'm saying I was just kidding. So, tracers are fun as hell, though. Let's see here. Tennessee Gun Guy says his unit was at Fort Campbell, was responsible for the range fire in 2014. So, I mean, I guess if you're going to be at a military range and you can cause a fire, I mean, I guess you claim that shit. That's a claim to fame. Okay, so Dale, sweet, man. There you go. He was with 1-8 in the 2nd Marine Division and March 1995. I was in from 94 to 98, and when I was in Okinawa, 94, 95. I was with 3rd Cabs, 3rd Combat Assault Battalion, and then when I was at Pendleton, I was with 1st Strig. So, yeah, Semper Fi, brother. I think he's the new. I don't remember seeing Dale's name out there. So, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the dark side, my friend, and glad to have you. But yeah, he was over at Lejeune, obviously. So. I was on the East Coast for a school one time, and I was not a big fan of the East Coast. I was more of a West Coast guy. They called us Hollywood Marines out there. But, yeah, he was out with Lejeune, 2nd Marine Division, so good stuff. Black Cat's out there. What's up, RL? Luke says spent the last 2 Septembers evacuating his ranch because of fire since the caution. Well, I mean, if you're in a place that has a tendency to catch on fire, I don't know. I would think about maybe putting a sprinkler system by the range, like the berm, at least wet it down, possibly. I don't know. I mean, Maybe find a different place to shoot if you're worried about burning down every September. I don't know. It's not like
house. That way you burn their pasture, not yours.
Snob, you've got kind of land that I guess could possibly catch on fire during the hot summer months. Have you ever worried about that?
No, I keep my range mowed pretty short though, and out to 100 yards, I keep it mowed. So
yeah,
I've never worried about it. Except for my berm, it just grows and grows because I ain't climbing on it, weed eating it every year. And I've never put it on fire. If it catches on fire, good riddance. I need to burn the berm off every now and then.
Yep. Clover, I mean, with your backyard range, I mean, have you ever had an issue or a fear of starting a fire?
No, not at all.
So I mean, maybe you were using some weird shit. I'm just saying. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't understand it. You're talking about tracers. I've actually seen jugs of gasoline shot with tracers, and it doesn't do anything. So,
yeah.
It's kind of like you take a 5-gallon bucket of gasoline, and you see the old movies where they do the trail of gasoline and they put the cigarette down in it and light it up. That's bull crap. I've seen mechanics literally take gasoline. They be doing some work on a gas tank or something, right? And they have a pan of gasoline and literally flick their cigarettes down in it by the garage door to put them out.
Yeah, it just puts them out.
Yeah, I saw one of the scariest pictures that I've ever seen on Instagram. I don't know if it was this week or last week. I don't remember in the last week or so. But our favorite gun bunny was holding up a flamethrower, trying to sell flamethrowers, and that just scared the piss out of me.
Nice. Now that'll set a range on fire.
Yeah.
Especially with that person using it.
That's what I meant.
Next to it on fire.
It'll set up cars or all sorts of stuff on fire. There's some talk out there about wanting to set a range using dragon's breath.
That'll do it. Luke says pee on the grass. Hey man, if you can pee that much, then go for it. DMR says use the super soakers. You can have the kids out on the range having a super soaker party before you go to the range and start shooting.
Super soakers like you could when we were kids. Now they're really crappy water guns. I tried to buy some from.
They've restricted the NFA. They put an NFA on super soakers now.
I mean, we've got some that we take on the boat that you just suck it out of the lake with. Those are pretty fun.
Yeah. Screaming Skull said 94 was a good year party and chasing around girls. I was in Okinawa in 94, 95. And it was amongst the best times of my life. Obviously, I met my wife there, but I was gone for 4 months of that other places. But the 8 months or so that I was in Okinawa, it's one of my favorite places in the world, if not my favorite place. I loved it. Had a great time, drank way too much, chased my wife around, and luckily she became like she saw that not everything about me was terrible, or at least I fooled her. I don't know. But yeah, 94, 95 in Okinawa was great. It was interesting because I was talking to somebody who had a chance to go to Okinawa much later, like recently, and he was about 3 or 4 years ago. The guy that works for us, and he's a former Marine, and he had an opportunity to go to Okinawa out of school, and they gave him this map and said, okay, all the blacked out area. Now remember, the island's about 60 miles long total, so it's a small island, and like 95% of the island was off limits now because of all the things that happened when my era was over in Okinawa. We raised a lot of hell over there. So they've basically been restricted. They can't even go off base a lot of times. So in 94, 95, Okinawa was unbelievable. Now it's probably not as fun. Dale says he spent most of the time at 24th View. Yeah, we had in our unit with First Streak, we had the 11th, 13th, and 15th Views, and Force Recon, Anglico, and all of that. That was all part of us. And but yeah, the Muse, I was with the 31st View there for a little bit at TAD when I was in Okinawa. So yeah, Muse are interesting. Anyways. Sorry, there's a little talk that most people probably are going to get bored with. Let's see here. Here's a question for you, Clover. I know that you talked about it, but I didn't know if you wanted to.
No, I mean, he's
about
right.
it, you wanted to
No, he's
follow
right.
up.
It's the fumes. I mean, I didn't go into the scientific explanation of it all, but yeah.
Squib was with 1.8. So there you go. It's small world with Marines, man. It's a small world. And I know that Snob's in there laughing. If Obnoxious was in here, he'd be rolling over going, oh my God. Because Obnoxious likes to tell me that I'm one of his least favorite people of all time because there's two people that he can't stand. Because if you meet a Texan and a Marine, they're going to tell you they're a Texan, or they're going to tell you you're a Marine very quickly. If you meet a Marine that's a Texan, then that's just really bad juju. So Obnoxious has told me that I'm one of his least favorite people, and I think for more than just that reason. But being a Texas Marine, I think, but yeah, we're a small group, so yeah, we do like saying hi to each other. Go ahead, Sam. Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
No, I was on the Beagle.
Did you get it?
Yeah, and the Beagle got shot too. Now there's just one more left.
All right. So we've gone an hour and 10 minutes and have yet to discuss our topic. So the question is for not just Snob and Clover, but to everyone out there live right now, what direction do we go? Do we try to dive in and try to hold the actual topic that we were going to talk about for just 20 minutes? Or do we keep just kind of bullshit about ammo and different stuff the next 20 minutes and do the home defense chat next week? What do you guys think?
Let me answer your question with a question. We were going to talk about the recent events mostly, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Does that really require 20 minutes?
Probably not. So we can probably we can fit it in 20 minutes probably. So let's talk about it. We obviously know that you have Ken and Karen out there this weekend up in St. Louis. That
the memes are fire.
What's that?
I said the memes are fire on that.
The memes are fire.
The cul-de-sac commandos.
I love that when you had the rooftop Koreans and there was something else in the middle, and then you had the cul-de-sac commandos. I thought that was awesome. That was great. Yeah, Clover and I were talking about this earlier also, and talking about the visual. As Clover made a good point. He's like, I don't think that these are gun people. And I said, no, I think they're just gun owners. But we've also talked about this is we can tell by the way they were handling their firearms that they were not seasoned, quote unquote, veterans of firearms. They probably just got these or whatever. But let me ask you this. I'm going to start with Snogs. I know where Clover's going to go with this, and I'll let him bring it at the rear. But Snog, I'm going to say this. Do you think they're gun people or gun owners? And do you think that matters to the visual of the media and the anti-gunners?
No. I think they're just gun owners. He probably had the old AR, but I don't have any problem with what they did, to be honest. They were scared to death.
I get it. Do you think that the way they were handling looks bad against gun owners? Like normal gunners actually know better not to flag people and all that?
He wasn't doing so bad. I'm not saying he was doing great by any means. He wasn't doing so bad. She was really bad. But at the same time, they don't,
Yeah.
They definitely could use a little bit of training, even if it's like an hour long worth.
Yeah. Luke else here says the McMansion Marauders. I haven't heard that one yet. I'm kind of digging the McMansion Marauders. I like that. Clover, your thought, can we talk about this earlier about being gun people versus gun owners and the visual, what that looks like for the rest of us?
Anybody with a gun is going to get thrown in with anybody with a gun. So we got to realize that right off the bat. The mainstream media, the left side of the 2A argument, they see no delineations. Mm-hmm. That's why I always say we have to pull in a Reagan-esque thing here that we've got to present a stark contrast, right? And even then that they make no delineation. So I don't know how effective that tactic even is, but yeah, it's one of them things to where we talked about it. They, just from what I seen, the pictures, the video, the other things of what I seen, you could tell they weren't serious. They were brandishing, running their heads, and whatever. They weren't like the vast majority of us. The vast majority of us would likely have grabbed a firearm and went out onto our lawns, right? But we would have been at low ready. We wouldn't have been running our head. We would have been visually taking account in on everything that was going on. We would have been ready. We would have been ready and prepared, to make that move had we needed to. And, we would have taken something out of our arsenal more than a Jimenez too, most likely. So
probably. As far as the visual, obviously the visual of their handling skills are something that's less desirable to gun people. But I'll say this. I'd say something that I've actually gotten a little upset with. I mean, we can sit there and criticize their handling skills all we want. But, man, they were getting blasted by gun people a lot the last couple of days. And I'll say this that really got to me about, the gun community on social media. They're going to sit there and talk 2A. And then someone exercises their 2A. Now, whether or not it was handled properly or in the best way, they exercise their Second Amendment right to protect themselves and property, and then they get blasted by the gun community because, well, look, they're not obviously they're not tactical. I mean, these guys, and Clover, you're probably right. These guys probably might have all been gun owners for a month now. I mean, they might be one of the Corona gun owners. Mm-hmm. So it's not like they've probably gone and ever got training or anything. They probably did this for this exact reason a month ago.
Not have, with things shut down, may not have had the opportunity even, right?
And like you said, it might be a Jimenez because that might be the only thing that was available left at their gun shop. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, but they're just there's a common sense element to me that, there's a difference between you've taken a defensive position and you're out there running your head, running your mouth, and waving things around. To me, that's just not a defensive posture or a defensive position. But that maybe, hey, I didn't serve in the military or anything else, so maybe I'm wrong.
Weston out there says they did with the two. They're exactly the 2A is there for defending their life and liberty, just like thousands have done before. Tactical is a thing. Exactly. Do I wish the visuals weren't as bad as, especially with her? Just kind of, she looked like she was talking some shit. I want to say that. And someone mentioned earlier, he looked like he was getting ready to hip fire. I mean, he looked like the Don Johnson, the later in life Don Johnson from Miami Vice was getting ready to hip fire that AR. That was pretty.
Well, here's the thing. I think this is the overall takeaway. Can you not do the right thing in the wrong way?
Yeah, you can do that. Absolutely. There's no doubt about that. I mean, not just in this situation, but in everything in life. Yeah, you can have the best intentions of the world, but executing it in a wrong way negates your intentions sometimes. Absolutely. I think you can do that. Snob, what about you? Do you think you can have good intentions, but just execute it poorly?
Oh, yeah. I do that all the time with everything in life.
At least Stacy tells you that all the time, right?
I try to give her a compliment and say, you don't look fat in that, and it just doesn't work out. So I don't know.
You should know better than that. You don't answer that question. You've got to figure out a way to smoothly transition that to another topic as quickly as you can. I don't know. Ozzy out there said, I thought I had it. Wrong one. Ozzy says, do you think anti-gun people even know about the safe and proper handling of a gun? Probably not. But here's what I'll say about this, and I'll let both you guys just chime in. I mean, at this point, you guys, we don't need to call on it. Just get in there. But I want to start out by saying, regardless if they understand what the safety rules are or what safe handling looks like, anyone knows that anyone taking a gun doing this with a finger in the trigger guard is probably not safe. So, I mean, you don't have to be knowledgeable about firearms to know that just doesn't look right. Like, that just looks dangerous. So, well, what do you guys think?
No, I agree. I mean, I think it, like I said a minute ago, I mean, it boils down to certain common sense. And I know people that are, anti-gun and they don't care about getting themselves educated about guns either. They're pretty solidified in what they think and what they believe, but they would never get a gun and, you know what I'm saying, do something like that. I mean, I just don't. They wouldn't do it. So this is one of them weird situations. And sadly, I mean, you're right in that they're gonna lump these people in with everybody else, right?
Yeah.
But these people are like right there on the cusp of, you know, they know enough to be dangerous. You know, that old saying we use, that you know enough to be dangerous. This is the definition. From now on, when you look that up in the dictionary or whatever, there's a picture of these people, unfortunately.
Yeah, Pete says they're both Democrats, and I'm not going to speak.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, I'm not going to speak for Clover or Snob. I don't want anyone out there to get the idea, the impression that I'm bagging these people. I'm all for what they did. I think the visual, I wish it would have looked better, but I'm not bagging them. And hell, like I said, I was pissed off to see some of the gun community on Instagram bagging on these people. It's like, you sit there and we talk 2A, and then someone actually exercise their 2A rights, and you got people on social media bagging them, and it's like, what the hell? What more do you want? Especially, and I didn't know they were Democrats. I've been too busy at work to even really kind of look into a lot of stuff. But these people are Democrats that are now gun owners. You know, I mean, they did exactly what they were supposed to do, and they defended themselves. They were obviously scared. I mean, there's no doubt. We can bag on their handling skills just in jest and fun, but I don't want anyone out there to think that I am. I'm not speaking for Clover or Snob, but I'm pretty sure they're not bagging on them either. It's just having a little fun, because you don't get too many opportunities to have Instagram mean gold like what happened this weekend. So we got to have a little fun at it. We got to have a little fun. Let's see here. Iron Horseman says, I think we need to quit trying to pick the fly shit out of Pepper. They did what they thought they needed to do to protect it. Exactly. That's the whole point. For someone who is seemingly politically probably more against guns than for guns, just by them saying they're Democrats, they chose to defend themselves with the tool that we love. And maybe now that their lives have been saved, by preventing something happening to them, maybe they'll come around a little bit. So that's good. Like I said, it's turned into a great speech, a great thing that says we were scared. We went and got firearms to protect ourselves just in case. And that worst case scenario actually happened. They broke the barrier of our property line. And even though it looked really bad, nothing happened. They moved on. So that's exactly what it's all about. And I'll tell you this much.
Yeah.
It could have gotten a lot worse, especially and we don't know if those weapons were loaded. We have to assume that they were, but especially with her trigger discipline, things could have gone very badly very quickly, because she could have squeezed that trigger, you know?
Well, thankfully it was a Jimenez with an 85-pound trigger. So
yes.
It would have took some cognitive thought, I think, to pull it. Might even have taken an extra person. Her husband may have had to help her.
Yeah. Sorry, meat and ice. Jesse out there says those protesters broke the gate to get in their private property. The homeowners have every right. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying is these people had no right to be on their driveway. I mean, if you guys have ever, if you've not seen their house, it's like a big ass. I mean, it's a compound. I mean, it's a beautiful home with a gate around it. And they broke the gate and they were on their property. I'll say this once again, it could have been a lot worse, because shots could have been fired, and they might have been justified. I don't know, but shots could have been fired, and it could have gotten a lot worse, because that mob could have rushed those two, and them being inexperienced, there is no telling what could have happened at that point. So they got lucky also, you know.
Well, they were trespassing, talking about the protesters or whatever, right? They were clearly trespassing. The whole idea that they broke in is up for some. That's a topic of debate, apparently, as to whether or not the gate was jimmied open or whatever, or all they had to do was just undo a latch and open it up. But either way, it's trespassing. If you leave all the doors to your and windows of your house unlocked and somebody's in there that ain't supposed to be in there, you know, I mean, it's a same situation. They ain't supposed to be in there. That's why the door, the gate, or that barrier is there in the first place.
That's what the gate is for, is saying, don't come in.
Are you supposed to be here? Yeah,
that's right. Don't come in this community if you're not supposed to be here. And, you know, it is what it is. So like I said, it could have been a lot worse. I'm happy that on either side, everyone left that situation unharmed, because it could have been a lot worse, especially with the inexperience. Oh man, it could have been really bad.
Well, you got to think, I mean, if they would have fired, I mean, the report said that there was like 500 there, and there's no way did 2 people with no more than they got in 2 magazines, you know, there's no way they would have been. Yeah, it'd have been bad.
Yeah, I disagree. I think the second they fired off a shot, everyone would have took off running the other way.
Yeah, I tend to think so too. But with 500 people, that's a lot of people, dude. So you got a lot of 10-foot tall bulletproof attitude with that.
Yeah, but I bet their attitude changes when somebody gets shot in the dome in front of them.
Well, absolutely. But once again, it's interesting because I haven't had the time to really dive into all this. But the video that I've seen, and I don't know what she was saying, but the wife it looks like she was talking smack. Like she was, not just saying, hey, but she was saying, get away, get off.
She definitely had RBF from the pictures I've seen.
Yeah. She had a little attitude that could have antagonized some people. Once again, it ended well. Everything ended up fine. It could have been terrible. Could have been terrible. Let's see here. They're talking out here. Someone says that Weston says that brandishing in Missouri can be an issue, but I think they'll be okay. Rich says the protesters were heading to the mayor's house in the gated community, and the mayor didn't live in there.
They were going somewhere they didn't even know where they were going. That says a lot to the organization of a lot of this crap. It's like, oh my God, somebody get a handle on this.
Yeah. Now 223 brings up an actual legality here that if they did not break through the gate, they would have been considered protesters. But being that they tore down the gate, should they be considered rioters?
Well,
I would say if you've broken a law, then you're not peacefully protesting anymore, are you not?
Well, if you're trespassing, if you're trespassing, are you still a protester? If you're trespassing, because you have to, in order to have a permit, you have to be on public property you're allowed on, right? Or not a permit, but in order to protest, you protest on public property, right? On a sidewalk, on a public property, not private property, right? So does that still apply? And then again, we get back to the controversy of, did they tear the gate down, or did they just open the gate and later on it got tore? You're talking about 500 people. So somebody in there was an agitator, had an issue, whatever, and swung on the gate and broke it, after the fact, after they'd opened it and started going in. I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
Now, this couldn't be a more true statement. Gunpowder says when someone ain't on her property. If you're within throat punching distance, watch out for Jessie, because she'll get you.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Yeah, they're saying they're still thinking about trying to prosecute him. I'm sure they will. I mean, it's just one of those things where I would have a very difficult time believing that they were going to be able to prosecute them. They never left their property. They never stepped foot on a sidewalk or a road. They were on their property. They were in fear of their lives. Yes, you could maybe for brandishing or something like that, but at that point, don't they have the right to defend their lives and property? And if they felt scared, like I said, it could have been worse, but I don't see where the prosecution is going to have much to stand on, especially if you start talking about prosecuting within the media. I think that public opinion is going to play heavily on this. Just me. I don't know.
Well, did you watch the interview with him?
I haven't, dude. I've been busy and I have.
He kind of said in the interview that they were threatening him and all this as they went in, and supposedly they went back in and got their guns.
Yeah.
and that's when all this started. And he's a lawyer, so he's going to know what to say and what not to say. So they're probably going to be fine.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Like I said, I find it very difficult to believe that they were going to have a way to really get them for much of anything. That's just, that's just me. So we've done the hour and a half, and we've covered this all. And you're right, Clover. It didn't take but about 15, 20 minutes to cover that side, at least that side of it. The home defense discussion we're going to bring to the table at the time. But that discussion, the current affair of that, didn't take long. But like I said, we went for the hour and 10 minutes of ammo talk, which was not expected, but I love ammo talk. So it was a good chat. So let's kind of start sweeping the chairs. I know you got, I don't know if Night Strike's doing a show tonight or not, but go check out Night Strike. If nothing else, go check out Sandhill Shooter. Get Off My Lawn podcast at 9:30 Central over on Sandhill Shooters chat. We got 38 people. I hate to tell you, but I'm hungry as hell. I gotta go eat. But go check out Night Strike and on Night Strike One channel, he's got what's called Hit or Miss going. Check out Daily Gun Show at midnight Eastern. Snob, we've still got 38 people that are here listening. So tell people where they can find you and what kind of projects do you have coming up.
Yeah, I need to get videos out. I've been really slacking, and I broke my Romeo 1. Actually, it broke.
Really?
For my new SIG P365 XL, but I should have the new one tomorrow. And I've got a Canic SC, and a Swamp Fox Optics on the way, and I'm going to do some videos with that in the next week or two. So.
Yeah. When do they have the Castle law? I don't know. I mean, I'm right next to Missouri, but I don't know.
I think Missouri does.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. Gunpowder Beauty says yes, and she lives in Missouri now.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Trucker says that Night Strike is live right now, so if you want to go watch that, then go check that out, because there's no telling what they're talking about.
Oh, with this going on, no telling. You can be entertained, I'm sure.
You might want to bring a water hose to put out the dumpster.
Yeah, and yeah. Holy
let it burn. Let it burn.
Yeah, let it burn. The roof is on fire. Right. All right, Clover. Tell people where they can your projects, what you got going on podcast wise, and all
Nothing.
That.
I quit after the night. I'm gonna wear pink polo shirts, carry around an AR-15, and go patrol private gated communities from now on. That's my mission in life.
Polo shirt Friday to work. So what's wrong?
No, I'm good. Everybody knows where to find me if they need to find me. It's all good.
Yeah. Yeah, I finally got a review done over on Gearport done. I got a review out on.
Shut up.
Yeah, you're a slacker on that, but it took me a month to get it written or get one written. But there's a video over there on the Bushnell CQTS Elite Tactical 2.0. I've got another one coming out on. They sent this one to me as well. That's TRS 26 red dot that I put on the CX4, so I'll be going out and shooting that here pretty soon and getting some work in on that. Got some stuff. I got to be looking on. I've got Hellfire coming from IO. I've got Faxon sending me the 9mm Bantam coming out. I've got several of them coming. So there's going to be a lot of stuff coming, and it sounds crazy. And Clover was right a few months ago how the corona affect T&E because a lot of these companies are shutting down. We're not able to get the products. Well, now that they're getting ready, they're coming back to work. When I had this stuff scheduled, spread out to where I could get stuff done, I'm sure Snob and Clover had the same issues. It looks like all the stuff that I was promised back in March and April, I had like 6 or 7 things guns promised me. It looks like now that I know 4 of them they're all coming at once. So spread out to where I was going to be able to manage it. Now it looks like all hell's getting ready to break loose. Are you guys talking to companies? Yeah. Have you started noticing that all this stuff is getting ready to start happening? We're getting ready to be flooded with this stuff.
You poor famous internet gun guy getting shilling for T&E projects. You poor. I'm going to say what the chat's thinking.
I'm saying that if you're wanting content, you're getting ready to see a bunch of content.
No, I got you. No, it's true. It's true. I mean,
do reviews on,
and we should have seen it coming. It should have known. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting from now to the end of the year with
There's
all.
Gonna be a lot of 20-round review videos.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about that earlier. There's going to be something. I mean, the 50-round one box of ammo reviews are really what's getting ready to happen. But Snob, with the gun shop, I mean, is their inventory low? I mean,
are they able low? I mean, they have a lot of stuff still, but it's low, really low.
Yeah, so it's one of those where, I mean, it's affecting everything. It's affecting everyone. And we said, Clover, I think you're right. They just maybe weren't ramped up ready for this. Let's hope that in the next month or two, things will happen. I wonder if what's going to, with the election in November, how that's going to affect things. Obviously, they're going to start ramping up, preparing for the Christmas holiday season. So, stuff's getting ready to happen. But how much did having laying workers off for 6 weeks to 8 weeks really obviously affected production? So we'll see what happens. I did hear that some of the companies are going like 24/7 right now in the factories producing, having different shifts. They're literally running those things 24 hours a day, trying to catch up. So maybe that helps. I don't know.
Well, the other day when I was in Sports World, Kevin said they've been getting 100 guns a day is what they're averaging coming in. And on the last Saturday alone, before that was a week ago, they sold 400 guns.
I mean, exactly. Yeah.
So they can't even keep up.
My local gun shop may be selling one come Saturday. Just saying.
Oh, yeah? What could it be?
I throw this out there because I can almost guarantee you there's nobody in the chat that's ever heard of it. A Hopkins and Allen offhand underhammer black powder rifle in 45 caliber. The hammer is actually underneath the barrel, not on top.
You lost me at black powder.
It's freaking cool. If it's still there, I will probably bring it home. So be looking for a video on that.
Is this a modern black rifle or black powder, or is this an old black powder?
I don't know how long ago they made them, but no, it's definitely not modern.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, definitely not modern.
Maybe not 1700s, but definitely not 1900s, I'm assuming, right? Or at least 2000s.
Yeah, it was. I'd be lying. I'd be lying, honestly, if I tried to tell you when it was made. But, good Lord. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even going to try. Somebody that might know out there off the top of their head, maybe. I kind of doubt it because most people were like, what? An underhammer? What the heck? But, yeah.
My wife is asking me to come. She's been watching the battle pup for the last hour and a half, and I think that a 9-week-old puppy who has a lot of energy, I think she's wanting to tag out and let me get back in the ring. So thanks, everybody, for watching live. Great discussion. We still have 30 people. I apologize. I've got to run. I'm hungry, and the pup is it's probably needing some attention. Go check out Night Strike. Definitely go check out Get Off My Lawn with Sandhill Shooters. Check out Gun Snob's channel. Check out Clover Tack's channel. Check out Clover's. I don't even want to know what to call it. I wouldn't call it a B channel. I would call it. I mean, he's got multiple personalities. We know this, but he's got the Flood Life channel out there as well. So go check that out.
Just an offshoot.
Yeah, there you go. So thanks for watching live. If you're watching in replay or listening in podcast form, hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, the conversation does not have to stop. Utilize the comment section below. And I'm working on, with everything that's going on, our schedule. We had several people lined up, but with craziness happening, I've got 4 people that I've got scheduled. I just got to find out when that's going to be. But some pretty big names out there. Pretty big names. And I think I've alluded to some of you guys who they are. But once we get them kind of rescheduled into where they're going to come in, it's going to be awesome. Really looking forward to. We've had a couple of great guests in the last few weeks that have really kind of blown the doors off, and we're going to bring more of those in. We've got some.
Well, I appreciate you talking about me and Clover that way.
You guys always blow the socks off of it. I'm working on, and I want to say this also. I didn't read because I hate reading. But I listened to an audio book and I finished it. It's a 9.5-hour audio book I started it Sunday and finished it last night. And it's called No Ordinary Dog. And you guys know that I've got this shepherd. I'm kind of into the dog thing right now. But this is about Will Chesney. Now, Will Chesney was in DevGru, which you guys know is SEAL Team 6. He was on the Bin Laden raid, and he was the dog handler for SEAL Team 6 or DevGru. Oh. And this book is about, the first half of the book is about being a SEAL, getting through buds and all of that. And then the second half is, once I'm a SEAL, then I had this opportunity to be a handler and his life of a dog handler. And this book's about Cairo, who was the dog on the Bin Laden raid that was his dog. And it's a phenomenal listen. If you guys go, I put an Instagram thing and it's on Facebook. Go check it out if you have any inkling about military stuff or dogs. It's awesome. And Will is actually the one narrating the audio book, and it's phenomenal. You can buy it in the book, but I like just putting it on in my headphones and listening, and it's great. I'm trying to get Will on the show to talk about not only about Cairo, because Cairo died several years back. He had cancer, but that's part of the book as well. But how many people that Cairo saved their lives in combat situations is unbelievable. But I'm trying to get Will on the show when it kind of fits his schedule to not just talk about the Bin Laden raid and being a dog handler, but also why he was medically retired. It ties into mental health and all of that. So it's kind of a great little theme that we run through there. But I'm trying to get Travis Wirtz. If you guys aren't familiar with who Travis Wirtz is, Travis Wirtz was a multiple champion on Forged in Fire. And if you watch Forged in Fire, you know who Travis is. And I think Clover was there too. We met him at SHOT Show a couple of years back. Great dude. Trying to get him on to talk about his blades and all of that. So, and obviously we've got a couple other people like Sean Ryan. We're trying to get rescheduled, and Two Lamb trying to get rescheduled and all that. It'd be great to get them, but that's coming down the line. So we're looking forward to that. But once again, I've rambled on for 10 minutes. I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Thank you so much to the patrons out there for letting me do what I love to do. And thank you for everyone always watching and supporting the channel through views and likes and shares and all that. That's awesome. So thank you to everybody out there. And thank you to Clover and Snob for coming on. This has been the Armed Citizen Podcast, and we will see you next week. Semper Fi.